Good evening and welcome to the Finance Committee meeting for Thursday, January the 20th at 5:30. At this time, I'll turn the floor over to the chairman, Mr. Westcott.
Thank you, Mayor. There's two items for now. Item number 1A is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with the Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development for the calendar year 2022. I move that we forward item number 1A to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion on item number 1A? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Item number 1B is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with the Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development to provide economic workforce development services for the city of Russellville for the calendar year 2022. And I move that we forward item number 1B to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Second by Mr. Tribb. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Okay. You want to just put on hold until Mr. Smith gets back?
Or do you want Chris to discuss it?
There should be a third item here momentarily in regard to the fire department. Chief Vic, do you have a moment to talk about that before we get our paperwork here in front of us?
What kind of questions do you have?
Well, at this point, I don't have a whole lot of questions, but what can you tell us that's going to help us make a wise decision here in just a moment?
Well, so right now the goal is to replace the aging aerial out at Station 4. It's going to be 20 years old, so we're going to replace that one out. We've spent about $160,000 in maintenance on it, so it's time to leave the fleet and replace it with another aerial that's coming in. It'll be a 100-footer, so we'll meet ISO on all that and actually increase our ISO points for that. We'll actually have to have two ladders that are 100-foot. We'll finally meet that for the first time ever. So, and the other one is an engine to replace. We were initially going to replace two engines. That's what we came for last time. So we spent the last 6 months of the year running different deployment strategies to figure out what's the most efficient way to use equipment. So, as you know, we've been running a lot more medical historically. So we tried out different vehicles, different manning styles, and found that another vehicle would actually be a little over a minute faster than what the engine was running. So we developed a modified response strategy that we're going to put in place next week that will actually save us over $600,000 for an engine purchase and allow us to extend the life of another one a little bit longer. So that's instant savings right there, and then not wear and tear on the big engines for the smaller calls. So much needed.
So the total amount that you are going to have in these resolutions here in just a moment is what?
I have a $1,272,540 for the aerial, $585,530 for the engine.
Ms. Johnson, maybe you might want to speak on the fire and police one-cent sales tax fund in relation to funding these two items from that fund.
As we look through the monthly receipts that we get from the 1-cent sales tax, we are building up a balance in the fund that is our capital fund related to 2001. We've talked about it. We have spent some money out of that, but we're going to have to halt any future spending and hold that balance and grow it to pay for these two vehicles, which will be available sometime in, help me,
Should be May or June of next year. So as long as we don't use any before April, the fund will have plenty in there for no financing, so we can pay it off upon delivery. We don't have to finance the equipment.
So this is just a commitment at this point to
That's
do
correct.
that. Is that
Basically,
right?
all we need is a resolution to
Okay.
authorize the mayor to enter into the contract for that. And then the price is locked in. It goes up $150,000 February 1st.
bingo. Did you hear that? That's why we're
Sure.
rushing it now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of panic time. time, in the next 2 years, the base price for an aerial ladder is going to be $2 million, just based on the market stability. So the great thing is, we purchased this ladder, we don't have to buy another one until 2037 as things go. So that gives us a lot of time. It's the first complete turnover of our entire fleet that we put this plan in 2016. So the next engine purchase is about, maybe 4 years away, and now they're staggered out versus spending millions at a time. So it's the actual first complete turnover of the entire fleet since we put
Okay.
it in. So
Well, recognizing that we don't have those resolutions here in front of us, but we will here in just a little bit, I still move that we forward this item to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Second by Mr. Tripp. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for the good of the Finance Committee? Hearing none, Mayor, I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Westcott. At this time, we will adjourn the Finance Committee meeting, and we will reassemble at 6 p.m. for the full council. Thank you.